Hey guys, so we're just going to do an update on the bike. About a month ago, the dealer, as you probably recall, actually I don't even know whether I've mentioned this, so I'm going to start from scratch. The dealer got all the parts to repair this under warranty. There was also the clutch problem where it would heat up and the travel here would get more and more until you couldn't you could barely disengage the clutch. The panniers, I couldn't get them off, they just wouldn't unlock. Complete pain. There was a cowling, headlamp cowling to change. Anyway, they had the bike for 2 weeks and it took a little bit longer because the cowling arrived, I think, a couple of times incorrect. It was for a different model year. But anyway, they phoned up eventually and said it's all done and we're going to arrange to bring it back. So they transported it back to me, and as soon as the guy had left, I realised that they had fitted the wrong reservoir cover on here. They in fact had changed the whole reservoir again, despite that not appearing to be the fault. They've obviously bled the system multiple times and it's actually perfect now, but for some reason they changed the reservoir again. I think that was a standard Ducati response to the problem, change it again, but they forgot to fit the aftermarket carbon top back on. So the guy had to come out again one evening and swap that over. I then spotted that the brand new panniers, where are we? Back using the 4K camera again. The brand new panniers have been damaged. You can see the material there has been damaged. So pretty pissed off with that. Everything else has been done. I can't even remember what there was to do now, but yeah, anyway, and the rack that they fitted last year that had that small little bit of damage from brand new, they also changed that, and as you can probably see, it is now ruined, and the reason for that is they took off my broadband aerials, and if I can find one of them. I need to find the other one because this one I've already worked on. Well, look, let me just pull this one out. I've already recovered this. So they pulled off these broadband bases that have a magnetic base, but because the metal around the side is quite rough, I put sticky pads all over this to raise it off of the metal, and then they just stuck in place. They were stuck in place, like that, both sides. So they ripped these two off of the old rack. All of the double-sided foam pads came off. But instead of just leaving these in the panniers for me to put back on, they just slung them back on with the bare metal on the magnetic mount. I had no idea they'd done that. I assumed they'd done it properly. So after I got back from the first test run, one of the aerials was hanging off the side and the other one was in place. When I looked at it, I realised what they'd done, and of course the new mount is completely ruined. So anyway, I pointed out the pannier damage and the fact that the rack was now ruined when the guy came out to change the cap, and that's going back a few weeks, and I've not heard anything since. So yeah. Not really very impressed with them, to be honest. they had the bike 2 weeks and it still wasn't ready when they said it should be because of various problems. The clutch is okay. The main issue that we're left with is the left-hand indicator refuses to cancel probably 50% of the time. If you've got the left indicator on, you have to repeatedly press this, and of course you've got to then look down to make sure that the indicator has in fact been cancelled, and it's a real problem. There's no getting away from it. In fact, I was out on another bike safe course last Saturday, and I hadn't spotted that the indicator hadn't cancelled, and the police officer was telling me it hadn't been cancelled. I don't think he was particularly convinced when I told him it's a software problem with the bike, which it clearly is because they've already changed this module once, and this is only a soft contact switch. It doesn't matter which indicator is on, you're still cancelling it by pressing that button. It doesn't matter if the right's on, there's no difference to the cancelling process. So clearly a software problem that's as yet unaddressed, and a big problem, especially for me as a alleged advanced rider. I'm often going along with the indicator left on, despite, you don't always look down. You're doing other more important things. You should not have to be looking down to see if the light is flashing, and of course if you glance down you might catch it when it's not flashing, it's just between flashes, so you think it's cancelled and look up again, and in fact it hasn't. So yeah, I'm not impressed with that. I think it's probably is time to contact Ducati directly about that issue. The other thing, new seat. I know a couple of people have mentioned that their pillion cover has also damaged the seat, and of course you won't realise that until you take the pillion cover off. I took the pillion cover off, as you know, because it fouls the subframe here for the touring pack. The brand new one is in the box over there, and it will never be used. It will just be given to a new owner at some point. But I was forced to drive around with the seat, exposed like this, which is fine, but not with damage. Now that is Ducati's fault. It's a bad design, and I know there was somebody on YouTube who commented that he had the same damage and they refused to change the seat for him. I don't know what country you were in, but if it's the UK, get it changed. They've got no choice. It's their fault, it's their bad design, and you've got up to 5 years to get it changed under EU law. So yeah, I'm pleased that's done. But why you would have to damage a perfectly good Pannier when you're changing the locks? Because when this came back I couldn't get the panniers off. There was a problem with the locks, and in fact there was a problem with the locks on the brand new ones, the original ones when this was first fitted, because you still had to struggle to get them off. But now, if I can do this one-handed, they unlock and lift straight up like that, which was absolutely never the case before. So again, if you happen to be unlucky and have the touring pack fitted and you struggle to get them off, it's because of this key mechanism. So yeah, again, that is not normal. They should just lift straight up, no messing around. So I would advise getting that changed.